Assalamu alaikum. This is Fawzia Said, and you are watching ELT Streaming, A Way Forward to Learning. Um, Thank you for your positive feedback. It elevates me to do more in the field of ELT. So, today we will talk about approach, method, and technique in language teaching. आप सबका बेहद शुक्रिया कि आप लोगों ने मुझे अप्रिशिएट किया। आपके फीडबैक से मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा इनकरेजमेंट मिली। सो आपके लिए लाती रहूँगी इजी वे में ELT लर्निंग एंड टीचिंग से रिलेटेड वीडियोस। आज का जो हमारा टॉपिक है वो है अप्रोच, मेथड एंड टेक्निक इन लैंग्वेज टीचिंग। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। Language teaching involves approaches that leads to methods that can broken into procedures and procedures that are a collection of techniques. Understanding how these concepts interrelate can help a teacher know the reasons behind their choices and how they choose to teach. So approach and method and techniques are correlated. How they are, we will discuss today. So first of all, these are two models, Anthony's model and Richards and Rogers model. Anthony presented his model in 1963. According to him, we have a brief headings over here. Approach, theory of language. Approach is the general assumptions of theories related to language and language learning. So method, an overall plan for the orderly presentation of language material, no part of which contradicts and all of which is based upon the selected approach. So according to him, technique is the actual implementation in the language classroom. So पहले अप्रोच डेवलप होती है, अप्रोच के जब हम उसको स्टेप बाय स्टेप लेके क्लास में इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं तो मेथड डेवलप होता है, और उसके बाद जो एक्चुअल इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के अंदर जो छोटे छोटे स्टेप्स होते हैं उनको टेक्निक्स के थ्रू हम आगे लेके चलते हैं. तो अकॉर्डिंग टू रिचर्ड एंड रॉजर्स मॉडल, they have presented in 1986. They have told about the ELT methods, that methodology and how the approach is developed. It is also the theory of language and theory of learning. Then come to the method. Then you have to design objectives, type of syllabus, keeping in mind the activities related to that topic, and also keep in mind the learners' roles and teachers' roles and the roles of material in your language teaching classroom. Now you have to develop the procedures. So procedures, according to Richard and Rogers, you develop certain procedures, you move forward step by step, and then the techniques, practices, and behaviors are under these procedures. Okay. Now, come to the approach. So first of all, we will look at the definition of approach according to Anthony 1965. It is a set of correlative assumptions dealing with the nature of language or nature of language learning and teaching. So Richard and Rogers also describe approach as the general assumptions about what language is and about how learning a language occurs. Okay, this is the difference between these two definitions, that approach is a set of correlative assumptions. यानी जब theory पेश की जाती है पहले कोई चीज apply करने से पहले, that is approach in language teaching. In other words, an approach to language teaching describes the nature of language which you are going to teach, either is English, Urdu, and whatsoever, how knowledge of a language is acquired, and the conditions that promote language acquisitions. So these are the example of communicate. For example, if we are, you will be clear when you will listen to this, and when we have to take the communicative language teaching approach. So it is an approach before you are going to implement in the classroom. It's approach. It's a theoretical groundwork that language is for communication, that you think that I will teach English language in my classroom for communication. So you will give different occasions, different chances to learners to speak to their maximum in the L2 or the language you are going to teach. Okay, so it's a approach. Then come to the method. An overall plan for the orderly presentation of language material, no part of which contradicts, and all of which is based upon the selected approach. So it is the definition of method from Anthony in 1965. Now, Richards and Rogers, they have defined method as the theoretically related to an approach organized by the design and practical procedures. So according to them, method is the theoretically related, it is related to approach, organized and designed practically with different short steps and procedures. It comprises of decisions about the particular skill to be taught, whatever you are going to teach. You are teaching them reading skill, writing skill, or anything else, listening, or so a particular skill to be taught. The roles of the teacher and the learner in language and teaching classroom, the appropriate procedures and techniques, the content to be taught, and the order in which the content will be presented. Okay, so it is about method. Now, when we are going to understand method, take this example of CLT methodology, communicative language teaching methodology. It is based on, either it is based on national functional syllabus or a structural one. We will discuss these two in the later videos, but the learner will be considered central. So first of all, the role of learner is central, with the main goal developing their communicative competence. So you are taking the learner on priority, and you are teaching them in a way that they can develop their communicative competence. They can communicate in the L2 effectively. The classroom activities will be designed in a way to engage learners in communication with maximum chances. Okay. So this is about the CLT. I am taking the same thing. CLT is communicative language teaching, how it is an approach, how it becomes a methodology when it comes practically into the classroom. And now come to the procedures. So Hammer 2001 describes procedures as an ordered set of techniques. They are the step-by-step measures to execute a method. Method को execute करने के लिए छोटे-छोटे जो steps होते हैं, these are called procedures. According to him, procedure is smaller than a method and larger than a technique. Okay? So ये procedures है जो कि Richard and Rogers के मॉडल में इसका जिक्र आया है. Now, techniques. Come to the technique. Technique describes specific practical classroom tasks and activities. Implementing a procedure requires certain practices and behaviors that operate in teaching a language according to a particular method. They are the actual moment-to-moment classroom steps that lead to specified outcome. Every procedure is realized in a way that it is a series of techniques. Okay. So this is about the technique. Let's come to the example of technique, that CLT techniques. Communicative language techniques might include role plays, discussions, text ordering, speaking games, and problem solving activities. Now you will be clear about the approach, method, procedures, and techniques in this video. I think that these are clear to you people. I have taken the same thing, CLT example, how it is approach, how it is method, how it is technique. Okay. So when we are going to teach communicative language teaching, apply communicative language teaching techniques and in our English language classroom to teach them to communicate in L2, we can take the activities like role plays, discussions, games to speak, and the problem solving activities. So उम्मीद है कि आपको आज की वीडियो पसंद आई होगी. Inshallah, I'll meet soon in my next video. Keep watching ELT streaming and do not forget to subscribe and give your comments in the comment section. I'm waiting for your feedback. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.